Hi Benjamin, I know I've gone super overtime on my other videos, so I'll try and keep this one short. I've also linked to a John Ortberg video below discussing some of the reasons for believing in God that we've been discussing, that he gave at a chapel at Westmont College. Today I want to continue discussing a little bit of what Bertrand Russell said. He has a section in which he discusses how Christians don't really follow the commands of Jesus. Professing Christians don't follow the commands of Jesus, and it is an issue. We've actually talked about that issue in an earlier video named 025 Disciples. That doesn't, while it is a problem, it doesn't really question the validity of Jesus' claims themselves any more than the Cubs' average season record challenges the validity of the MLB official baseball rules. So it doesn't really question the validity of Jesus' claims, but then Bertrand Russell goes on to question some of Jesus' claims himself, and he goes on describing the Christ as he's presented in the Gospels to quote, "For one thing, he certainly thought that his second coming would occur in clouds of glory before the death of all the people who were living at that time." Now, the thing is that Bertrand Russell was a mathematician by profession, and he's clearly read the Bible, or at least a good deal of it. But he comes in here and he says, here's something that Jesus said. He was obviously referring to his second coming in clouds of glory, and he thought it would happen before people who were around him died because he said such and such and such. But when you read the verses that he's referencing, they're not so obviously clear. Like, he assumes he knows what Jesus is saying. But if you dig under and do a little bit of historical research, it appears that Jesus was actually saying something different, which actually did happen. Now, to know that, you would need the work of a historian who knows what words and phrases being used around the time of Jesus meant and how they were used specifically within the Jewish theological context. In other words, you would need someone such as Wright, who seems to think, if I understood the portion of his commentary on Matthew that I read correctly, that passage actually does not refer to Jesus' second coming, but rather to his crucifixion and resurrection, which actually did occur before any of those present died, depending on when Judas hanged himself. So all that to say, I think that a problem that we often have is making assumptions before we've actually done our research, and Christians do this too. Christians certainly make a lot of assumptions, but that's why I really appreciate thinkers like N.T. Wright, who have actually done detailed historical research in order to find, okay, well, what is there actually evidence for and against, which I think is what we should be doing as we explore the question of Jesus, if that is part of the question that we're exploring. More broadly, the question of God, again, is addressed in the John Ortberg video, and in the discussions from my brother's side of things with Timothy Keller's book. Benjamin, I hope you have a good time. As long as you stay in Oklahoma, keep me updated as you can.